Hello, and welcome to the Afri-Culture Concepts YouTube channel. I know I have been gone for a minute, but I am back. Today, we will be covering some things about the supposed ancient Israelite prophet Isaiah from the book of Isaiah, chapters 7 and 8. If you are here for African history and genetics, yes, you are on the right channel, but every so often, I must take a step back from that in order to help people understand the Bronze Age Canaanite mythologies better, since I am a student of Biblical Hebrew as well. So, for those that are here for African history and genetics, this may not be the show that you want to see. Also, this channel is dedicated to things that can be verified scientifically or things that can be verified textually. In this case, we will be using the biblical Hebrew grammar to verify if the ancient Israelite prophet Isaiah foretold King Ahaz about Jesus of Nazareth, which didn't live until several centuries later, or was he referring to a child that would be born in his time? If you are hell-bent on doctrine-based beliefs, this may not be the show you want to see. This show is textual and grammatically based. In other words, the text says what it says, and not things that you may want it to say, but in fact does not. So to save yourself some grief, you have the right to watch something that may verify your pre-biased beliefs. I have no emotional attachments to the information that I share on my channel. A religious group that call themselves Christians believe that the old ancient Israelite prophets knew of Jesus and prophesied about him. And one of those prophets they believe spoke of him is the ancient Israelite prophet Isaiah. They use Isaiah chapter 7 and verse 14 to verify their claim, and it reads, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel." Here are several errors by the translators. One is the word virgin, which is a complete mistranslation of the Hebrew text. The word Homa translates literally to the young woman. There is a Hebrew word for virgin that can be verified in Exodus chapter 22 verse 16, which reads, "If a man seduces a virgin who is not pledged to be married and sleeps with her, he must pay the bride price, and she shall be his wife." In biblical Hebrew, the word Homa is not used, but instead it is the word Bethulah, which literally translates to a virgin. So we know already that was a mistranslation. The second problem is the tense being used in this verse, which is translated incorrectly. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14 says, "The virgin will conceive." But in biblical Hebrew, the word being used is hora, which is a feminine adjective that literally means is pregnant. And the verb being used is a first yet verb G-stem, third person feminine singular active participle, which means she is bringing forth. This is why understanding the language of attestation is vital to understanding ancient literature. If you do not know the grammar, you will not be able to proofread the text. You will have an understanding of the text that authors did not compile. So let us get started with Isaiah chapter 7 verse 1 so that you can understand what has taken place.
Wehi bime Ahaz bin Yotam bin Uziyahu melech Yehuda ala Rezain melech Aram Ufeka bin Remelyahu melech Israel Jerusalem lemilchama aleha walo Yahol lahilahem aleha.
My render of it says, "And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, son of Jotham, son of Uzziah, king of Judah, Rezin, king of Aram, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, rose up for war, and did not prevail to attack Jerusalem." This verse is a summary of things that had already taken place, and the rest of the chapter is about what was going on between the Israelite prophet Isaiah and Ahaz, the king of Judah, while the king of the north and the king of Aram were conspiring against him. This is not about something that would take place 700 years later, and soon we will see that as well. Here is another important text from Isaiah chapter 7 that you need to realize and go over a few times, which is Isaiah chapter 7 verse 8.
Irosh Aram Damesik Warosh Damesik Razim Uvot Shishim Wahamesh Shana Yehet Ephraim Mayam.
And my render of it says, "Because a chief of Aram is Damascus, and a chief of Damascus is Rezin. Another 65 years, Ephraim shall be destroyed as a nation." Note we have the prophet giving a time frame that is quickly moving the virgin birth of Jesus out of the equation. Do not forget that these are accounts of interactions between the prophet Isaiah and King Ahaz during the time when the northern kingdom conspired with Aram to seize Jerusalem.
Lahain yitain Adonai hu lehem ut hinni ha'al mahara wayoledit bain wakarat shamo Emmanuel.
Next, we have their favorite verse in which my render reads, "For sure, my master shall give a signal to you. Peep, the young woman is pregnant and is bringing forth a son, and she shall name him Emmanuel, or God is with us. Remember, this conversation between the prophet and Ahaz has already taken place. It is just telling you the details of what was talked about during the raid and the conspiring of Ephraim and Aram against Judah. Now we can go to Isaiah chapter 7 and verse 15.
Himma udvesh yahol ledaato ma'uth bara uhor bato.
Which my render reads, he eats curd butter and honey, for his mind rejects in the wicked and chooses in the good.
Ki beterem yeda hanar me'uth bara uv bahor batov te'azef ha'adama asher atakats mifne shane melachea.
Isaiah chapter 7 verse 16 is translated by me as saying, because before the young boy shall know to reject in the wicked and to choose in the good, the two kings that you dread shall abandon the face of the land. This is important because it is again talking about and reiterating about the king from the north conspiring with the king of Aram by indicating two kings that they were dealing with at the time.
Waya umr yehwe elay kahlecha gilayong gadol uhtav Allah becheret anush la maher shalal hashbaz.
Now to Isaiah chapter 8 verse 1, which my render says, and yet Yahweh said unto me, take for you a large tablet, and write upon it with a stylus of man in regards to Maher-shalal-hashbaz, which means quick plunder, quick robbery.
Wa ikraf el handiya wa taher wa teled bain wa umr yehwe elay kara shamu maher shalal hashbaz.
My rendering of Isaiah chapter 8 verse 3 says, and I made love to the prophetess, and she became pregnant, and she brought forth a son. And yet Yahweh said to me, call his name Maher-shalal-hashbaz, which means quick plunder, quick robbery. At this point, the belief that this is about Jesus is getting very weak, but we are not yet finished.
Ki beterem yeda hanaer karo avi wa immi yisa it hail damesik wa ik shalal simron lifnei melech ashur.
My render of Isaiah chapter 8 verse 4 says this, certainly before the young boy shall learn to call daddy and mommy, the wealth of Damascus and the shalal or plunder of Samaria shall be taken away in front of the king of Assyria. This verse is showing the relationship between the young boy that was told to be called Maher-shalal-hashbaz by his father Isaiah and the sign that the prophet Isaiah told King Ahaz that would take place. It also verifies that the young boy would have two biological parents. We are getting close to the end, and this is the beginning of confirmation that this passage is not foretelling the reader about Jesus.
Azu Ezza Watafar Dabru Dabar Walo Yakum Ki Emmanuel.
Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 10 says, plan a purpose, and it shall be broken apart. They declared action, and it shall not fulfill, because with us is God, or Emmanuel. This confirms that the passage is about the conspiracy between the king of Israel and the king of Aram to attack Jerusalem, and their attempt failing, as it was written in Isaiah chapter 7 verse 1. You guys need to take this information to your teachers because it is not adding up, guys. If you do not agree, it is like saying that your beloved prophet Isaiah is or was a false prophet, and these writings are all lies.
Hinne anohi wehay ladim asher natan li Yehwe laothos ulmoftin birushalam me'am Yehwe zabaut hashochain baher zion.
This is what Isaiah said himself in Isaiah chapter 8 verse 18, which Miranda says, behold, I and the children that Yahweh has given to me for signs and for wonders in Israel, from Yahweh of hosts, the one who dwells within Mount Zion. This confirms that the child that was spoken of in Isaiah chapter 7 was or is not Jesus, and that the child was born and also fulfilled the prophecy during the days of the prophet Isaiah. But if you want to verify this taking place from another Old Testament text, you can refer to the book of 2 Kings chapter 16 verse 5, which says, then King Rezin of Aram and King Pekah, son of Rumiyahu of Israel, advanced on Jerusalem for battle. They besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him. All of this supports the fact that the ancient Israelite prophet Isaiah did not prophesy about the coming of Jesus, let alone being born to a virgin at all. One must also take into consideration, did the Assyrian Empire exist during the lifetime of Jesus? Jesus is said to be born around the year 6 BC, and the Assyrian Empire fell around 600 BC, which takes these prophecies completely out of context. My mission here is not to take anything away from you, but it is for educational purposes only, and to encourage the reader to ask questions about the text, as well as encourage the reader to learn biblical Hebrew if the Bible is your moral compass. Please do yourself a favor if you follow this text and actually learn about the book you follow as a moral compass. Ask your teacher questions and don't just believe anything that they say. Humans make mistakes, and the fact is humans wrote the Bible, translated it as well. But the text says what the text says. You should respect that, or take the time out of your day to learn more about it. So far, it is Afri-Culture Concepts 1 and Christian 0. Until the next time, thanks for tuning in to the Afri-Culture Concepts channel. Peace.